Really a case of Balmoral or bust as ever. Let me explain. How are you? Nice to see you today. Have you been to Balmoral? Let me know if you've been. Honestly, wonderful place, isn't it? I like it up there. I can see why our late monarch Queen Elizabeth II liked Balmoral. It was just one of those tranquil places. I think the best way I could describe it would be like stepping off the world. I know it sounds a bit weird to say that, doesn't it? But you know, it seems like the access has stopped. You kind of look around and think, wow, what beautiful country. And I think, you know, the people are incredibly warm and friendly. Yes, they're used to a lot of tourists, but they're just really nice people. Couldn't fail to get on with them, and very warm and welcoming. You can understand, really starting way back with Queen Victoria, while the royals loved Balmoral. But is all that about to change? Let me explain. Now, you see, the thing with Balmoral is it's been the home of the British monarchy for over 100 years. As you know, it was put up together by Prince Albert and Queen Victoria because they both loved that area. You know, she spent a lot of time there following the sad departure of Prince Albert. And then it's gone on, hasn't it, for years, and it's been the epicentre of royal life. If it's south, it's down here at Buckingham Palace. North, it is, of course, Balmoral. People don't realise just what a vast expanse Balmoral is, though. You know, there's Dumfries House, you know, there's Burke Hall, there's all sorts of places. You know, the royals tend to name these places as if they're small homes. They're not. They're very big homes, you know. That's the thing. But, you know, that's what we kind of expect from them. But now, following the success of the afternoon teas and the visitors and all that sort of stuff, which proved to be an incredibly profitable success for His Majesty the King, they're looking at expanding this, including the potential opportunity to have your wedding in a certain area of Balmoral Castle. Now, this has actually been met with a bit of a not so sure. I'd love to know what you think about this, but you know, I think this is a difficult one for His Majesty because, you see, on the other hand, it has to be upkeep. You know, they have to find the money to keep it running. It's a big estate, whichever way you look at it, and they're there for a finite time every year. Having a wedding at Balmoral would be very nice, apparently, and you know, you can understand. Can you imagine being the very first? And more importantly, you know, where do you stop? Do one of the royals pop down and help with the catering, fill the tea urn? Who knows? But this is the problem. Now, according to a very good source, Princess Anne is not keen on this idea. Of course, this was the very final place, resting place for Queen Elizabeth, and she feels that this may be a step too far. According to that source, Princess Anne believes that this is, you know, there should be a sort of, not a barrier, that's not the right word, but a sense of distance so that people don't become over familiar with what is the British monarchy. She says that's part of their magic for people, that you don't get to see every single facet. King Charles, of course, feels differently and wants to open up as many royal palaces as possible, making them profitable and turning them around. And it's a difficult thing, isn't it? Because I kind of slightly agree with Princess Anne. When you go in Buckingham Palace now, and I've been lucky enough to film in there, all sorts of stuff, it is a wonderful place. But then, of course, you notice things that you didn't know about and think, I'm not so sure about that, you know, that sort of stuff. So sometimes is the magic best kept away, or should you be allowed to get inside? And, you know, let's be honest, if you could afford to get married there, which would be probably very expensive, it would be a magical thing. But how fast would that then become, oh, Balmoral? Well, what about Windsor? What about the balcony at Buckingham Palace? And that apparently is the fear of the Princess Royal. King Charles apparently, though, doesn't have such fears. Where do you stand on it? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.